Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're jumping into this amazing dialogue. It honestly feels like something you'd overhear in a faculty lounge, But maybe one that serves martinis and has a couple of very, very sassy chatbots weighing in. We're going to get right into the big AI panic that's sweeping through education.
All right, let's get right to it. This quote here from Grandpa Randy, it just nails the feeling in so many schools right now, doesn't it? There's this real tangible fear that tools like ChatGPT are basically just going to, hollow out our students' brains. But is that really what's going on here?
Yeah, and this really breaks the whole debate down, right? You've got one side, the human fear side, that's all about panic. It's the death of thinking, a tool for cheating, the end of the essay as we know it. But then you have the other perspective, the AI reality. And this side says, hold on. Maybe it's actually a mirror reflecting our own teaching methods. Maybe it's not a cheat code, but a partner. And maybe it's not the end of the essay, but the beginning of a totally new kind of dialogue.
Okay, so let's dig into the psychology behind all this. Why are so many really smart, really dedicated educators just hitting that big red panic button?
I just love this line from Annie. She's one of the chatbots in the dialogue we're looking at. It's so direct, it's hilarious. But she's got a point, right? The story suggests this isn't new. This isn't the first time some new tool has caused a total uproar in education. There's a pattern here, and it hints at something much deeper than just the tech itself.
And this is really getting to the core of it. The argument is that the panic comes from this, kind of old school idea that for learning to be real, it has to look like a struggle. If you don't see the students sweating over a 5-paragraph essay, then the assumption is, well, they're not really learning. It's all about that visible effort, something a teacher can see and control, instead of the actual, messy, invisible process of thinking.
So that leads us right here to what is maybe the most important distinction in this whole conversation, the huge difference between just doing work and actually thinking.
And look at this. This lays it out so clearly. If our assignments, the things we ask students to do, are all on the left side here, regurgitating worksheets, cranking out the same old 5-paragraph essay, simple recall, then yeah, AI is a huge, huge threat. Of course it is. But if what we really care about are the skills on the right side, analysis, evaluation, synthesis, well then AI suddenly stops being a threat and becomes an unbelievably powerful tool.
And that brings us to this new idea for what a student's role should be. The goal isn't to be a passive sponge, just soaking up information. No, the goal is to become an orchestrator. Think about it like a conductor of an orchestra. True thinking, real authorship is about deciding which questions to ask, knowing what information to reject, and then figuring out how to weave it all together into something that makes sense. That's the real work.
Okay, so what does that actually look like, in a real assignment? Well, it's not about cheating. It's about a really smart, really sophisticated kind of collaboration.
See, the real learning, it doesn't happen with that first prompt, the write me an essay about X prompt. It's in all the steps that come after. The AI gives you back a, let's be honest, probably pretty bland, mediocre first draft. And that's when the student's work begins. Now they have to challenge it, they have to push back, question its logic, demand better evidence, refine the tone. It's that back and forth, that iterative process. That's where the deep, meaningful learning actually takes place.
In this quote, this is basically the mic drop moment of the whole piece. One of the grandfathers finally admits, yeah, I thought my grandson was just cheating with this AI thing. But Annie, the chatbot, corrects him with this one perfect line. He wasn't taking a shortcut. He wasn't cheating. He was going through this whole complex process of refinement and thinking. He didn't cheat. He iterated.
All right, so let's split this whole thing on its head for a second. The argument here is that the real danger, it's not that students are using AI. No, the real danger is that schools will just pretend it doesn't exist.
Just think about this analogy. Would we ever teach sailors to be afraid of compasses? Tell them it's a distraction from real navigation? Of course not. It's a fundamental tool. And the point being made is that AI is rapidly becoming that same kind of fundamental tool, but for knowledge work. Or how about this one? It's just as good. Insisting that students ignore AI just to appreciate the process of doing things the old way, well, it's like telling someone they have to master a horse and buggy before they're allowed to drive a car. It's not just slow, it's completely out of touch with the world they're actually going to live in.
So what's the result of all this? Well, it's pretty stark. The schools that ban or ignore these tools are running a huge risk. They're going to produce graduates who are totally unprepared for the real world. They'll be experts
in a world that doesn't exist anymore, who don't know how to work with the very systems that are defining their future careers.
Okay, so how do we actually do this, right? What does a classroom look like when it gets past all the fear and starts to embrace this idea of co-authorship?
Well, it really starts right here, with this toast from Grandpa Randy. This is a call to action, to make critical thinking more than just a nice-sounding phrase on a syllabus. It has to be an active skill, something students actually do, something that involves questioning and refining and, yeah, even arguing with an AI.
And then there's this final toast from Grandfather Michael that just brings everything home. It's such a powerful and, frankly, challenging vision for the future. He's toasting to co-authorship, a real partnership between human creativity and machine intelligence. And it's going to be led by students who are brave enough to try the things that maybe we, today, are too scared to.
And so that leaves all of us with this one final, really important question to think about. Whether you're an educator, a student, a parent, it doesn't matter. We have to ask ourselves, are the classrooms we're building designed for simple recitation? Or are they designed to teach the art of orchestration? Because honestly, the answer to that question is going to define an entire generation of thinkers,